Okay. So now I'm going to segue to the article, which again shows how useful this is. I tweeted it, maybe, and I follow John Paton on Twitter. Maybe he saw my tweet and was getting some of the same tips I'm giving you guys, because again, it's something that's useful. It's something that real papers are trying to use, because they're in a similar situation to you guys. Everyone's resources are limited. They can't buy all the latest, greatest technology, but really, my point of doing this is you can do professional-looking, really cool stuff with free tools, and it's something that professionals are doing. It's not just something students have to do. So that was the point. I have some points I want to go over, and I think after lunch I'll probably more focus just let you guys talk and get reaction. But off the bat, I guess what were your takeaways from this? What stood out to you guys when you read the blog post?
This is what I read to you yesterday. Kelly wasn't here. Sorry, Kelly. It's brand new to you.
I guess, Miss Latta was saying you guys were like, wow, he has to oversee 18 newspapers?
Yeah.
that was one thing?
It was you.
Which actually is a relatively, the Journal Register company, that's one of the smaller, medium-sized or even smaller chains. It can be more, but, you're kind of on point in a way, though, and really, what stood out to me is how hands-on this guy is being with his papers, and really sort of in any corporate environment, that's not something you're always going to get. And he doesn't have to be this hands-on with all 18. He can kind of be bigger picture, and have sort of managers under him working more directly. But he's choosing to do it this way, and just sort of how influx things are in the industry, and the fact that tools like WordPress, again, this is like a WordPress blog, give the opportunity to, as he says, in his tagline, he says it's a dialogue with employees. Why not? Everyone should be doing it. So I guess that's like the first point. If you guys continue to study journalism and communications, you're sure to hear it over and over. A quote by a guy, I guess this was back in the middle part of the 20th century, named Marshall McLuhan, and his famous quote is, "The medium is the message." If that makes sense to you guys. And I still sometimes have trouble figuring out what it means. But basically, it means sort of how you're saying it, sort of the medium, the platform you're using to say it, can say more than what you're actually saying. So, regardless of what the CEO is sort of saying about, his company and the changes he's planning for it, the medium, the fact that he's doing it on a blog that, is a two-way conversation, and sort of this, Web 2.0, very new media, not old media thing, and where you can have comments, and he has managers and employees in his company coming back. That sends a very strong message, regardless of sort of what's discussed. The actual content is the medium is the message. Again, if you stay in communications, be sure to hear that again. On this first page here, and I guess it's kind of funny I'm saying that I'm speaking in print terms because I printed it out, and obviously it's on this one page up there. But things I want to talk about there is sort of the news process and control over that process and how that's changing because of the internet. And at the top, Paton describes news gathering and presenting news, and sort of the concept that as a newspaper, as an argument on its way to deadline. Does that sound right to you guys? Do you guys have arguments when you're putting the paper together?
We have disagreements. But a lot of times, these two end up writing articles together because they argue and they can't decide who would write it because of different. What are you arguing about? You're saying sort of, this is more important. You should say this higher up than this. Just like a lot of times, I see arguments work involved with them about what perspective to take on a subject and how to cover it, how many different angles to cover it from the different articles.
And that's exactly what we talked about when you guys first learned journalism. You probably were told how it was important to be objective. You know, you don't want to kind of have an opinion. You want to be down the middle. And I mean, yeah, that's a nice ideal to have. But really, if you haven't been told this already, it's impossible to be completely objective. But balance is the thing you're going for, because by choosing one thing, even on the internet, where I mean, hypothetically you have, or you know, technically you have unlimited amount of space. Really, you're not limited like you are in print, where you can only afford so much newsprint. And of course, I mean that's the thing. No one has the time. It is finite. You have to cut it off at some point and choose to, you know, publish some content and leave out other stuff. So the very fact that you have to leave stuff out introduces bias, and you know, you cease to be objective.
Have we had that? I'm sorry. Have we had that experience? Should we leave something in? Should we take it out? Yeah, okay, good. So I just want to make sure that you're seeing you're part of this process, whether it didn't feel like it or not. You're definitely part and parcel.
I think like layout last, like when we were doing the last newspaper, it was a big deal. Like we wanted everyone to agree, but we also wanted it to be good and kind of thing. Like having a newspaper, the look of it was kind of an issue.
So that's what he's talking about. I mean, journalism, producing news has always been a process, and that really never ends. And now, even more so. I guess it's something I want to ask you guys. We've been talking about how the internet and new media are really turning newspapers' worlds upside down. Why? I mean, what's changed? I mean, it should be, you know, what's different of sort of, you know, when you were just having to worry about a print newspaper to this whole web thing comes along. What's different? What's changed?
Everything is so much faster. Like people before I even look at a print newspaper, I can see people tell me the news. Like I remember when like Michael Jackson died, I didn't see it on the news. I just saw on like Facebook, everyone was like, Michael Jackson is dead, or there's an earthquake or something.
So you found out from your Facebook friends.
You just hear about things before you could even read a newspaper.
Yeah. So you didn't need a news organization to tell you, but I guess, you know, why didn't your friends do that before the internet? Why didn't they like print out little newsletters and say, here, you know, here's what I found out about Michael Jackson, you know what?
If you have like a phone, anything, you know, like people just walk around and know everything that's going on just by getting on the internet.
And yeah, that's the kicker, because it's so cheap and it's so easy, both the means of producing news and distributing it. And that's what's changed. It's a business term called barriers to entry, and if you think about it,